Welcome to the Funnel Factor, everybody. All right, so this week we're going to deep dive on something called hook, story, offer.
Okay.
Have you heard of this before? It's a marketing framework.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, definitely. I've heard that one tossed around quite a bit lately.
Yeah, and supposedly this is like, the best way to convert leads or whatever,
To get people to buy stuff, yeah.
Yeah, to buy stuff, exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of curious about this one because on the surface, it sounds pretty straightforward, like hook their attention.
Right.
Tell them a story.
Yeah.
And then offer them something. What's the big deal?
Yeah, well, like anything else, I think the devil is in the details with this, and I think a lot of people kind of just gloss over those details.
Yeah, I think you're right, and that's what we're going to try to dive into today. We're going to really get into the specifics of this.
Right.
So let's start with the hook. What is it? How do we do it? How do we make it effective?
Well, I think the first thing to remember with the hook is that you only have a couple of seconds to really grab someone's attention these days. People are bombarded with information. They're scrolling through their feeds.
Absolutely.
So you got to cut through the noise.
So how do we cut through the noise then?
Well, I think, you've got to really think about your audience and what would make them stop and pay attention. Could be a provocative question.
Okay.
Something that really kind of challenges them a little bit.
Like what? Give me an example.
Well, let's say you're selling, a course on productivity.
Okay.
Your hook could be something like, are you tired of feeling overwhelmed and unproductive?
Okay, yeah, that's something I could relate to for sure.
Right.
Yeah.
It's something that a lot of people can relate to. Or, if you're selling a product that helps people save money, your hook could be something like, are you leaving money on the table?
Okay, so it's like something that's either going to save them something
Yeah.
or give them something.
Exactly, yeah. Or just, something that kind of piques their curiosity, makes them want to learn more.
Okay, so you know what? I think this hook idea actually applies to more than just marketing. Like, I'm thinking about this in terms of like giving a presentation.
Oh, absolutely.
Or just having a conversation with someone.
Yeah, for sure.
It's like, how do you start the conversation to get them interested?
Yeah, you don't want to bore people.
You don't want to bore people.
You want to make them lean in and want to hear more.
Okay, so we've got our hook. We've baited the line.
Right.
We've got their attention. Now what?
Well, now it's story time.
Story time. I love stories.
Yeah.
Okay, so what kind of story? How do we tell it? What are we trying to achieve here?
Well, I think the most important thing to remember about the story is that it needs to be authentic. It needs to be genuine.
Okay.
People can spot a fake story a mile away.
Sure.
So, share something real, share something personal, something that your audience can relate to. You were talking about, presentations and conversations, even like, think about when you're having a conversation with someone and they tell you a story that's really personal and it's really genuine.
Yeah.
It makes you feel closer to them.
Absolutely.
It builds rapport.
Yeah, and it makes you want to listen.
Exactly.
You want to keep listening. You want to hear what they have to say.
And it's the same thing with marketing. When you share a genuine story with your audience, it builds trust, it builds rapport, it makes them more likely to listen to what you have to say.
Okay, so the story is about building that connection,
Wow.
building that trust.
Right.
But how do we make sure the story isn't just some random tangent? How do we connect it back to the offer?
Yeah. Well, that's a really important point because you don't want to just tell a story for the sake of telling a story.
Right.
You want to tell a story that leads naturally into your offer. So, let's say you're selling that productivity software.
Okay.
You could tell a story about how you used to be really disorganized and overwhelmed. Maybe you missed deadlines. Yeah. Maybe you were always stressed out. Yeah. But then you found this productivity software and it changed your life.
Okay, so the story is like setting up the problem.
Exactly.
And then the offer is the solution.
Right. And because you've told that personal story, because you've been vulnerable with your audience,
Yeah.
they're more likely to believe you when you say that this software can really help them.
So then by the time we get to the offer, they already kind of know what's coming.
Yeah.
And they're ready for it.
Right. And you don't have to be pushy about it. You can just present your offer as the natural next step in their journey.
Okay, I'm starting to get this. So it's like the offer isn't just a sales pitch anymore. It's like a solution to a problem that you've already established through the story.
Exactly.
Okay, so how do we actually present the offer then? What are the key things to keep in mind?
Well, I think, first of all, you want to make sure that your offer is clear and concise.
Okay.
Don't overwhelm people with too much information. You want to make it really easy for them to understand what you're offering and how it can benefit them.
Yeah, no one wants to try to decipher a bunch of jargon.
Exactly. And then you want to make sure that your offer is relevant to the story that you've just told.
Okay.
So if you've told a story about how you were overwhelmed and unproductive, and now you're offering them productivity software, make sure that you highlight the features of the software that can help them overcome those specific challenges.
I see. So you're really tailoring the offer to the story you've already told.
Right. And then, finally, you want to make sure that your offer is compelling.
Okay.
Give people a reason to take action. Maybe you offer a discount.
Sure.
Maybe you offer a bonus. Maybe you offer a guarantee. Whatever it is, just make sure that your offer is something that people can't refuse.
I like it. Okay, so I've got to say, this hook story offer thing,
Yeah.
it's pretty clever. I can see how this would be much more effective than just trying to shove a sales pitch down someone's throat.
Right. I mean, it's just a more human way to market. Yeah.
It's a way to connect with people on a deeper level.
It's like you're having a conversation.
Exactly.
You're telling a story.
Uh-huh.
You're building a relationship.
And then you're offering them something that can help them.
Okay, so anyone listening out there, if you're trying to market something, I think this is definitely something to keep in mind.
Sure.
This hook story offer framework.
Yeah.
It might just be the secret sauce
To
getting people to actually listen to you and take you up on your offer. Well, that's it for this deep dive. I hope you found this as interesting as I did.
Yeah, me too.
Until next time.
All right. See ya.
See ya!